So Colombia has been involved now for more than 3 years in peace talks between the FARC, the main insurgent group, and the government. The other main insurgent group, ELN, is still not part of that, but nevertheless, it's very important for us that FARC and the government is sitting down and negotiating. And even more important is the fact that the victims and some partner organizations have taken part in those discussions. We're very hopeful that there will be a peace agreement, and the government and the FARC have a 6-point agenda, and they have now just almost finalized agreements on 4 of those 6 agenda points. And in particular, I would like to highlight there's an agreement around victims and the rights of victims for truth, justice, reparation, and guarantee of non-repetition. Our partners have been involved in that, both in making proactively in making proposals to the parties at the table, but also directly by being present and by bringing victims to the table. And I mean, especially some of those victims at the peace negotiation table have been very important, because they have helped sensibilize the parties, and that human face has been very important, because of course in peace talks it's about power, it's a power struggle, and the FARC basically sit in Havana because they've used violence. It's very important for us that this is not just a negotiation between the perpetrator and another perpetrator, which is the state and the state forces. So having the victims there, I think, has helped soften some of the positions and humanize and put a human face to some of these atrocities that have been committed in Colombia, and has brought the parties closer to an agreement. And a victims group called Compass, for example, have been in Havana, but they have also presented a written, very elaborated proposal on a truth commission, and many of those elements have been taken up by the parties. They have also proposed a very strong restorative justice element, and because they say, for us it's very important that both we know the truth about what happened, why it happened, who would order it, and what made it possible to commit these horrible crimes. But at the same time, we also want the restorative element, because the key point for us is not that somebody goes to jail for many years, but that we have an inclusive peace process, and we can restore or try to restore the damage being done. So I think that's a very important element. Something I also want to mention is the issue around sexual violence. All actors, that's paramilitaries, insurgents, but also state forces, have committed crimes of sexual violence in a generalized and systematic manner, we believe, and partners have evidence to support this. And I think one of the achievements so far is that crime has been recognized. There's a lot of awareness around this crime, which wasn't the case earlier. And some of the victims in Havana who have gone to talk to the FARC and the government have been victims of sexual violence. And our partners have campaigned, and I believe as a result of all this awareness and this campaigning, there's an agreement there will be no amnesty for sexual violence in the peace talks.